Yo, 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 we are going live. We are going live. We'll start at 8 o'clock, which is in 6 minutes' time. We'll start at 8, but I thought I would start the stream early just so that people knew what was happening. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How's it going? How are we all today? What's everyone up to? Dum da dum 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 da dum dum da dum dum. Got a special guest on today. Fire any questions in below. I'll get the old comments up. How is everyone anyways? What's going on? What you been doing with your day? What you been doing with your day, everyone? Nathan, I see you there. Ian, Nikki, see you guys joining. Thanks for joining us. Let us know if there's any comments, and yeah, we'll get going. Hey, Uncle Craig, you all right, mate? See a few people join in. We'll start properly at 8, and I'll introduce my guests. So go get yourself a cup of tea. Just fill in now, really. Lynn's here. Hi, Lynn. Trev, can always rely on Trev to be here on a Music Monday. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird and wonderful things coming up today. I'm in the living room, my humble abode. You might have noticed I've done my hair. So, yeah, we'll answer any questions today. I'm introducing a very, very good friend of mine. Claire, you've moved into the caravan. Yeah, I was speaking to Martin about this. How come he's not in the caravan? I don't get that. Good to hear from you guys. I hope you're okay. What else is everyone up to? Is it still 4 minutes to? We'll start at 8. Peter's fallen asleep, Lynn. Unbelievable. Hi, Zoe Bolton. Hello, Rebecca Malley. We'll start at 8, guys, properly. So if you want to get a brew or something, we've got lots of people joining. That's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Who else is here? Who else is here? Got some new. Hello, Rebecca. I see all your comments a bit late, by the way. So if I'm a bit late to mentioning you or whatever, it's always a bit of a delay. So yeah. Hope your day's going all right, everyone. Cat's here in the kitchen. Do you want a piece of banana bread? Yes, please. Oh, don't worry then. Don't worry then. If anybody wants to drop me around banana bread, what? Oh, no, that's fine. Oh, Claire, I'm praying for you guys. You'll be all right. You'll get through it. Trust. So yeah, so a bit of a question to start out before we start. Someone lovely made me banana bread and dropped it around, but I was confused, disgusted. Disgusted's harsh. They put chocolate chips in it. Chocolate chips in a banana bread. Thank you, my darling. Here it is. And I was confused because I've never ever had chocolate chips in a banana bread. So anyway, I took it to the old people of the world, and people said that chocolate chips should be in banana bread. But not a fan. But thanks to the person that made it for me. One more minute, guys. We'll get going. In the living room today, not the playroom. You can carry on. Right. Kat was just about to hoover, and now I've started this, and she doesn't know whether she can carry on. But I said, you guys don't mind. Claire, what are you saying no to? You saying no to chocolate chips or no to no chocolate chips? Tim Sparks, what a guy. Tim Sparks, best legs at the forge. I mean that. So yeah, if you're new, welcome. If you're just joining us, my name is Ben. I know it looks like it, but I'm not a natural blonde. But my special guest tonight is on a Monday. We just basically have a laugh. We look at some comments, that you guys sent in. We reply to any question that you might have, and I interview a special guest. And basically, we have a laugh. The whole point of this is to have a laugh, talk about some music, maybe, I don't know, talk about some spiritual stuff. But if you're here looking for a talk, for a sermon, this is not what this is. We might play a few songs, might sing a bit, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it. But this only kind of really works well if you get some chocolates. Get some chocolates. I was reading a comment. Oh, I'm tired. If you get some questions in. Sorry, Angela, I was reading your comment about chocolate goes with anything, and I, got a bit confused. So without any further ado, let me today introduce you to my special guest. This guy is my best friend in the whole wide world. We've known each other literally since we were in our mother's wombs, even before that. So he's been around at the Forge a bit. John Westera, can you join us? Can you see us? Here he is. I
Hello.
can see you. I can hear you.
Who's that? I don't recognise your hair.
This is Ben. We've been best friends since
Hi, Draco.
forever, remember?
Draco Malfoy. Oh, sorry. Hi, Ben. How
Draco
are you?
Malfoy. Shut up. If you was in Harry Potter, what else would you be in?
What?
If in Harry Potter, what else would you be in?
What else would I be in?
What house?
Oh,
like you put the
can't
hat
understand
on,
your Suffolk accent. Oh, it'll be probably Hufflepuff, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, you've got Hufflepuff written all over you, son.
Well, what does that even mean?
How are you? Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining you from my 2-bedroom masonette in London. A lot of money, everyone. A lot of rent for that rubbish.
John pays more rent than I do.
Probably than the whole of Suffolk combined. I'm in my bedroom. I thought a good natural light for you. I've got a nice little window here. So.
And me and John have known each other. Well, our dads were best friends in school.
They were. I don't know. They go
later
back.
Than that, was it?
They go way back. I think my dad was your dad. No, the other way. Your dad was my dad's best man at his wedding.
I mean, I wasn't there.
Oh,
but
sorry.
Yeah. Basically, our dads are close, our mums are close, and we were born and destined to be besties for life, and we have been.
We have been, yeah.
What's your earliest memory of our friendship?
Oh my gosh, Ben. That's a very good question. I would say there's a picture that I remember that my mum showed me of me, you, and I think someone else who I can't remember the name of. It was at one of our birthday parties, and right. I have a few flash images of you there.
Yeah.
I think maybe that picture kind of brought it back.
Oh,
but
yeah,
we were like 3 or 4 then or something.
Yeah, Magic Marvo was there. Do you remember Magic Marvo?
No.
He's a magician.
You look like him with that hair. Oh.
So, John, as well as being my best friend in the whole world, is an extremely talented musician, worship leader, but mostly playing bass now, I guess. At HTB, Holy Trinity, Brompton. Is it all of them HTB?
It's very complicated. They have all the 4 main kind of churches in London, I'd say. So you got Brompton Road, Onslow Square, Queensgate, and Caulfield Gardens and Dalgarno Way now, I think. They're all kind of Holy Trinity Brompton, but then they've kind of planted lots of other churches who've taken on their own identity.
Absolutely huge church in, right in the heart of kind of Kensington, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right in the
Really
middle.
rough area. Just outside Harrods, isn't it?
Oh, flipping it! You're running to the tube station after each Sunday.
You're running to Five Guys at South Ken. That's what we
Yeah,
always do when I come visit you.
we do, mate. Yeah, good times.
And why don't you tell us a bit about what that church is like for those that, well, one, have never been to church, but also wouldn't know HTB, who they are, what they're famous for.
Yeah. Well, where do I start? I think going to HTB. So when I moved to London, I always kind of, because I've been working in London for a long time, I've always wanted to go to HTB. I kind of knew about it through Worship Central when they were there, so the likes of Tim Hughes, etc. But they moved on. So HTB now is a kind of very contemporary church. They do a heck of a lot in the community, mainly kind of Alpha. So I think a lot of us have heard of the Alpha course. So that's a kind of worldwide course that's happening in churches around the globe. And it all started from Holy Trinity Brompton. A man called Nicky Gumbel started it. And, so it's a very big church, has lots of kind of services and kind of campuses. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Yeah.
Campuses makes it sound like a uni. It's not a uni, but they just do they're kind of very community focused, but very spirit filled, and it is Church of England. So
and I think what I love about HTB, when the few times that I've been now, is you kind of hear about HTB and kind of the people that have come out of there. For those of you that have been around church for a while, that'll be your Tim Hughes and your Ben Cantelon and all of those guys, kind of like the sound of modern worship music. Has kind of been birthed there in Soul Survivor. But when you go, it's what I would call a proper church. So this kind of new sound has come from these buildings that are centuries and centuries old, but of course they're jazzed up. I don't know, when I first went, I was kind of expecting more of like, so like those of you that will be around church, you might be familiar with like Hillsong, and they meet in theatres, and auditoriums and stuff like that. So I guess I kind of went in with that mindset that, I mean, when you're playing there, you're literally playing. Well, it's described like what the stage is like. It's crazy.
Yeah, they kind of namely really play at two services mostly, which is Brompton Road and Onslow Square. So Brompton Road they're both old churches, really old churches, and you've got the kind of pews in the back on the stage. So they're kind of out of the back, but all the traditional kind of stage is still there. So you got the hard kind of marble, and you got the pulpit, which I stand next to.
Stained glass window, massive
stained glass windows. So it's kind of, you can, when you walk into HTB, both churches, the ones that I mainly play at, you can definitely see that it's the traditional sense is still there. But what I love about HTB, and one of the main attractions for me for going there and playing there and being part of it is, yes, it looks very traditional, but they really push and strive to be current. And they really strive to kind of be up to date with what's going on, and really and spiritually aware of all that as well. So there's constant change happening there, which is really encouraging and really great to see. Yeah.
So talk to us a bit about before we kind of get into some more interesting questions, but like we'll move on to kind of a more musical side later. Talk to us a bit about how you, for those that are interested, how you get into the music team at HTB. What kind of how did you get to that point? How long has it taken? What have you learned, like in a snapshot?
I love worship. I love being a part of it. If I can't be a part of it at a church, I probably wouldn't be there for long. I feel it's my kind of ministry. So when I was going to HTB, they kind of expect you to be there for about 6 months before you join the worship team.
Of course, yeah.
And you can just kind of apply, really. So you fill out a little application form, which my best mate, Ben Lasky, I don't know if you know him, he had to do a reference for me. So they asked for an application form. It was. If anyone wants a reference, you're going to get a lot of requests.
So many. I do so many, please.
Okay, scrap that. But yeah, so you fill out an application form, a reference, and then you do like a live audition. So I did one. Well, I did two songs really. I'm trying to think what they were. I did "Live in Hope" with on the guitar singing, and then I did "Pray" on the bass,
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
which has got some funky bits in it. So, and then they let you know,
Brilliant.
and then they kind of introduce you to everyone, etc.
And the kind of opportunities that you get, I think, says a lot about who you are, that you've just kind of excelled in that team massively. But I don't know. I don't want to spend an hour kind of bigging you up because that's just so boring for people. But if you guys have any questions for John or myself, kind of about London life, well, was it HTB and megachurch? We don't really use that word in the UK.
No, when I think of megachurch, I think of Sydney, Hillsong, like auditorium.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got any questions about what it's like to play at a massive church, or how to get started with something like that, or anything really. Just pop them in the comments. I'm keeping an eye on the comments here, so please do that. But mine and John's first experience of kind of playing music together. I mean, when I say music, we've played all sorts together. Like we've played football, girls. No, no. But yeah, when we played music together was at our last church in Colchester, which was kind of like a really good place for us to kind of learn our craft, I guess. But how terrible were we at the start when we started?
Oh my word! I'm thinking back actually. Your granddad, Aaron, he was quite in that for me. So when I first started playing bass, because I was playing after the service once, and then Rob Buckingham came over to me. Rob Buckingham was one of the worship.
Yeah, the old worship pastor at our old church.
He said, "Oh, we need basses. Do you fancy it? You fancy playing?" I was like, "Well, I don't know how to play bass really," but he's like, we'll teach you." And I was pretty terrible. I remember one Monday night rehearsal, your granddad comes up to me and goes, "You got to learn the notes, John."
Yeah.
I was like, I realised that I don't really know all the notes yet, but I'll get there. I'll get there.
But like I was mostly drumming at that stage, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
So we built up quite like.
How long ago was this?
I don't know, man.
Well, I must have been about 14 when I first started playing in Kingston.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we would have been, but yeah.
But we were kind of like a rhythm duo of awesomeness.
The foundational section.
And yeah, well, because of that, we've kind of played all over the place now.
I mean, yeah, we've been really, really blessed with that, haven't we?
There's certain people that when you're pulling a band together are your absolute first call. And you've got to have a solid drummer. And we've worked with some really, really good drummers over the years. Nathan Wallace is asking about Tim Cook, but we'll get to that later. He's just such a fanboy. But we've been privileged to work with some really, really good drummers. But my first call is always to John, because there's so much about worship and what we do in church. The music that we do in church is about ability, but your ability means nothing if you haven't got heart. And this guy has got just bucket loads of the right attitude and skill. So you're my first call every time, mate. And for those of you that go to the Forge, you might recognise John, because you came for Christmas, didn't you?
Yeah, my hair was a lot shorter then.
Well, yeah, mate, lockdown hair. What was your impression? What did you think at that time when you came to the Forge for Christmas?
Well, for one thing, everyone involved in that, people I can think of, obviously yourself, Finn and Steve, absolutely phenomenal job. You know, it was slick, it was organised, the heart was there, the kind of vision was there for it, and I just had a really pleasant experience encountering God. Like, you know, that is what I got from it. I was with my mates, I was, you know, experiencing this kind of barn that was transformed into an incredible venue. It was cold, but we managed it.
It was so flipping
cold. It was cold. But we had a room that was warm, so we went in there. But it was just
we did have that little cupboard, didn't we? Yeah.
great experience. I really, and when you talk about like musicianship, like that kind of when we were rehearsing a few weeks before, I remember everyone involved in the music team there, like Nathan Wallace, as he commented, but everyone just really nailed their parts. It's so much easier with everyone comes with the right attitude, and that's what I kind of really took from it.
Teamwork makes the
Teamwork,
dream work.
teamwork, concentration, and sharing the same vision. It really is effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And being clear on expectations. I
Yeah,
think like for us I think that's been a really key part of developing ourselves, like me at the Forge and you kind of at HTB is like we set clear expectations, and where you don't set expectations, you're so clear
yeah,
on what people want from you and the standard that you're held to at that place.
yeah.
I think you've really thrived in that.
Yeah, I think it was a new challenge for me. I think coming from Colchester and Kingsland, I was looking for something. I felt I absolutely loved being at Kingsland, but I think the time for me to move on and to grow had come, and if not, had came a year back. But
Yeah,
I just needed that kind of challenge of feeling nervous, but expanded my skills
yeah,
and my faith as well. So I
awesome,
definitely always kind of need that in my life.
awesome, man.
Hmm.
Right, well, I'm going to crack on with my questions that I ask every guest that we have on. What is the song you have found hardest ever to learn?
There's a few.
Go on.
There's a song which I learnt recently, which the reason it's a David Bowie classic or
Nice.
Bowie, I don't know.
You love your Bowie, don't you?
I do like David. I do like David Bowie. I think it's actually my housemate Connor. He's from Colchester as well, and Ben knows him. He's a musician as well, and he's very into David Bowie, and he started playing Life on Mars, which is the reason why I call it quite difficult is because it's an incredibly chordy song. It's lots of variations, lots of changes. Lyrically, it's crazy as well. So that was a kind of a challenge, and vocally to kind of nail it. So I would say to date, kind of getting that. It's not even perfect yet, but I'm still trying to get there.
Play us some. Play us some.
I can do. Go on then. I really wasn't prepared. Do you want me to sing? I'll try.
If you want.
Apologies, everyone. It's a god-awful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair, but her mommy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go, but her friend is nowhere to be seen. Now
Nice.
she walks through her sunken dream to the seat with the clearest view. Now she's hooked to the silver screen, but the film is a sounding board, and it just carries on.
Mate, that is complicated. That sounds like it's about 15 different keys.
Yeah, the chorus is the worst bit. It's so high, but yeah, quite
Awesome. Thanks for playing that, man.
Right.
What is your favourite song to play in church at the moment?
In church, do you know what my favourite song to play in church varies quite quickly. HTB really like to kind of keep current with the new songs that they're doing as much, and I know you do especially as well. But I think I'm really enjoying King of Kings.
Praise the Father.
It's quite
Praise the Son.
musically, it's very basic. It's definitely not the hardest song you'll ever play. But it's just whenever we do it at church, we did it at a recent kind of worship night, Kingdom Come, that we did before the lockdown. Not recently. Don't worry, we have not been gathered. It's just very the congregation just seem to really grasp it really well.
Is it that third verse, isn't it?
Christ was born. I don't really know the lyrics either, but
we know the notes. We know the numbers.
yeah, it's just a song at the moment for which we love to do in at church. And
yeah, I think like to get a grasp of a song, you have to do it live.
Yeah,
you don't know if a song's any good until you're there. And like some songs like that, like I would never introduce because I just like I'm so meh about it.
Yeah,
but I could go and listen to it at one of your nights and be like, oh my goodness, I have to take this back. Well, which is why I think it's so good to get out and about.
That's happened so many times with us. Like, how many times have we come across a song and we thought, nah, I don't know, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then we did it on a Sunday morning, and it just took off, and we were like, oh gosh, okay, we'll do that
I
again.
like absolutely, and I cannot wait to sing the blessing when we
Yeah,
get back meeting together, because you just know on a song,
yeah,
it's like, oh man, I get the tingles. I know
yeah,
this is gonna.
yeah. You do.
Oh, I cannot. I like feel a bit sad not being able to lead that
I
for the
think every
group.
church in the UK or in the arguably in the world is
Yeah,
going to be doing that when we go back. But you're all right though. Songs just have something on them, don't they? And they'll
yeah,
just carry on.
absolutely.
I love that.
Mate, can you play us a song by an artist you look up to?
Yeah. Okay.
Take your headphones out. We can hear your guitar better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put them back in when you talk.
Yeah. No worries. Let me just think. So, okay.
Yes.
Anyone know
Those
it?
that don't know the riff, that's Chili's, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
What do you like? What do you love about Chili's? Oh, you're a bassist, and the Chili's have Flea.
Flea. Yeah. Can you hear me? So I just yeah, Flea. The the bass patterns. I kind of Californication. It's such a great. I just love the I love everything about it. Even the music video. I've always liked
It's
it.
got that drone as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Like chilled, and then it picks up.
yeah, it does. And I think, but like Red Hot Chili Peppers, I will never get bored of. I think they're the bass lines that they come up with. I just think they did a live performance once, which I can't remember where it was, but it was on YouTube, and they just spontaneous did some bass and guitar like for about
Oh,
7 minutes doing what they want, and then they went into
just
that one of the songs. So they're just really talented. I love it.
famously have Will Ferrell as a drummer.
Yeah, you look like Flea with that hair. I love.
What's your favourite throwback song?
You'll like this.
Go on.
Well, the reason why I love this song is because it always reminds me of being a kid and playing football. There, Nike did an advert once with a bunch of footballers playing five-a-side in a cage on a ship. Don't know if any of you remember that.
Yeah.
And it was a little less conversation, Elvis.
Yes.
And whenever that came on the TV, me and my brother used to just love it so much.
Was that like what was it called? Like Yogo Bonito or something?
Oh, I think so. And what's his name? Eric Cantona was
Eric
kind of like
Cantona, yeah.
reffing it all or whatever. But I love that music video, and I love Elvis anyway, and
Less
you love
conversation,
Elvis.
a little more action, please.
Yeah, I just love all that.
I've strayed a bit away from Elvis for this one.
Yeah, it's all right. You'll come
Elvis
back.
Malfoy. Right, guys, keep sending your questions in, please, for John. We'll get to them in a little while. Finn sent one in. We'll get to that. Nathan sent one in. We'll get to that. Yeah, please keep sending them in. Otherwise, we're going to have nothing to talk about today. What is a song that you'll never, ever get sick of playing?
Live in Hope.
Really, yeah. Isn't it?
So in church, I just Live in Hope's great. It's I don't know if you guys or if you do. I know you have done it, but that's a song I never get to. Whenever it comes out on a Sunday,
it always goes off.
you just know it's going to be great. So that's always a good one. I also another really big someone I really look up to. I say look up to. He's not alive anymore, but Kurt Cobain. He is someone who I just love. I love the way he played his guitar. I love the lyrics he come up with. He once said something in fact, he said this multiple times when he was being interviewed when he was alive, that people would say to him, Kurt, where do you get your inspiration for your lyrics? And he would say, I don't know. I just think of something and I write it down. There isn't anything behind it. That's just what
natural.
Somehow it created such incredible meaning and diction and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of loved all that and that kind of grunge rock scene. But one of the songs, Smells Like Teen Spirit or On a Plane, that That's just absolute classic. Love it.
I've
Never
got an answer actually that you won't have thought of, but is actually true.
go on.
Every time, every time I've ever done
Oh,
anything with you, whether it's been a wedding or a festival or a baptism, literally anything church on a Sunday morning, first thing you've done is plugged in your bass and played the Deal or No Deal theme tune.
now that is a bass
Play it
line.
on the acoustic. Can you play it on the acoustic?
Yeah, let me see if I can remember it.
That's what he does every. Don't say if you can remember it. You play it every time.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember the site. Great, love it.
Different on an acoustic. It's so annoying.
In all honesty, I can't remember the last. Yeah, if I keep playing that at church though, I think
You get told off.
yeah, I get told off. So
Different now, mate. What's your favourite single at the moment? Christian, non-Christian, if you even want to hate those words, but yeah.
I like. Have you listened to his Christian one? Stepped into my Egypt. Is it called that?
Oh yeah, we spoke about that last week.
Not even the whole song,
You
really.
stepped
Just
into my
yeah.
Egypt.
I quite like
You
that
took
bridge.
me by the hand.
I have to be honest,
Hey,
though,
open Spotify right now and show us your last played. Don't cheat. Show us your last played thing.
you were all going to hate me for this, but I don't actually use Spotify. I use
Apple Music then.
yeah. Okay. It actually
Don't cheat though.
no, it actually is Elvis. Oh, and Lean On.
What's Lean On?
It's an acoustic version. Hang on.
Don't play it. Don't play it. Don't play
Right.
it. We'll get copyright striked. Get the stream taken down. I'm not even joking.
No, I know. I did an Instagram story the other day, and there was music on the background, and they blocked it. I was like,
Unbelievable. I don't know how they do these things. So Egypt by Corey Asbury.
yeah, I like that one at the moment.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I like. I don't, to be honest, mate. I'm not really clued up in all the kind of singles that are out at the moment. Music is something I've always been quite behind in. Like I've kind of liked what I've liked, but all the new stuff, secular especially, like I've always just been really behind with. But Martin Smith's always doing some classics, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's a song that gets you through hard times?
There's loads. I think, yeah, there's a song that Jeremy Riddle did, which was Freedom. It's not actually his song, but I always listen to that. It's like a moment from when he was leading on one Sunday, I think.
Freedom.
Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom.
Oh yeah.
But it was more the kind of stuff after he did some spontaneous stuff, which is so good. And I have been listening to that for years, that kind of moment. And it, it always kind of helped me, get through. If I'm feeling sad, I'll stick it on,
Yeah, man.
kind of have a moment with the Lord.
A moment with the Lord. You're so Anglican now.
Yes, well, I think, we've also, this is not a plug by any means, I promise, but I say HTB released a song, What a Saviour, which I'm just on repeat at the moment.
So good.
Yeah, my friends there were really just smashed it with that. And it's, and yeah, it's brilliant. It's just a brilliant song, so I listen to that a lot as well. But
Yeah, what a saviour, innit?
What a Saviour, yeah, it's a good one.
And Anna's vocal on that song is just insane.
Her vocals are insane anyway. She really is just incredible. Her range, and she's got such a power in her voice as well, and that really helps when you play. Like, you kind of get inspired to play, and but
Awesome, man.
yeah.
Right, last question before we go on to questions from the public. Get your questions in, guys. They're coming up after this. What was the first song you ever learned to play on guitar? How did you pick up a guitar?
My dad plays. Well, I say he plays. Martin Westera or Johann Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Dad, are you watching? I don't know. He played guitar for a long time. He used to get involved in it in church, and he gave me his old Echo guitar. which was this massive thing when I was like really small kid, and I was trying to play it, and I couldn't. My elbow was up here because it was so big. So I was just dad kind of gave me the guitar, gave me a book full of chords, and said, "There you go. You want to learn." And he taught me some stuff. So that's how I started playing. But I think properly, the first ever song I learnt was "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Actually,
Go on, play it for us.
it was easy. It's just like 4 chords all the way. But it's actually so it's like everyone knows it. Apologies, my guitar is so out of tune. But that, and obviously the classic kind of.
Oh gosh, don't get me started.
Yeah,
you're gonna play flipping what's that one everyone plays?
Oh, Sweet Child O' Mine. You know what though? I've just thought of another kind of song that I always listen to, which you guys covered incredibly well a few months ago. Get ready for this. The Darkness, Don't Let the Bell.
Oh yeah.
When I watched that, I stood there and thought, this is better than the original. Especially with you dancing around.
Do you know what? I'll give you a little behind the scenes fact on that song.
Go on.
So the way the music team works is we practice on a Monday for the Sunday or a Tuesday for the Sunday.
Yeah.
But I changed how we did rehearsal.
Okay.
And I stopped doing a weekly rehearsal. And that Sunday was the first time we'd never done a weekly rehearsal. So the first time we ever played that song together,
wow,
we ran through it once before the service.
Yeah.
And then we did it. And that is like
Mate.
quite a complicated song.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that we'd ever done it. I was so proud of the team. But again, it was expectations. It was like, you need to be ready to play this.
Yeah. Spot
without
on.
having gone through it for 3 hours on a Monday night.
Ben Land did a great job on the guitar.
Ben Land did do a good job on the guitar.
He's a very good guitarist.
In fact, so for those of you that have seen that, we live streamed the 10:30, but at the 4 o'clock at Thursday, he actually did a full-on knee slide, which was quite special.
It's a shame that wasn't caught, really.
I'm sure it's on somewhere. I'm sure it's on Forge Facebook or something.
But what I was saying is, like, that's a song I never ever fail to not go back to it. I will go back to it at some point and give it a listen because it's just great, isn't it? Vocally, it's brilliant. The Darkness are so underrated.
Yeah, man. It's from Lowestoft. It's from up this way.
Yeah, I heard that. What, in Suffolk? Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Suffolk? I don't even know. We're Essex boys. Look at my hair. I've never looked more Essex in my life.
Yeah, I'm proper Essex around here.
So, guys, get your questions in. We've got one from Mr. Finn Johnston.
Hi, Finn.
I don't know if he's still watching. He asked it a while ago. What is your favourite breakfast cereal, and what amount do you feel like you can eat in one sitting?
I think you might know the answer to this. Maybe. Oh, okay. Bran flakes, obviously.
No, there's a story.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So, Frosties are a cereal which are very dear to me, mainly because I like the sugar on them. So, but when we went, me, Ben, and Finn, and Kat, and some other friends at the Forge, we went to David's tent last year, which was such a joyous occasion, wasn't it?
It's like David's tent, for those of you that don't know. Is it 72 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
72 hours of non-stop sun worship. It's like 6,000 people in a tent, literally in the middle of a field, and we just worship all day. And when we don't worship, we eat Frosties.
Yeah. Well, I eat Frosties, and I bought about 8 boxes and ate them.
You ate like the biggest box of Frosties I've ever seen. You were just munching on them the whole.
The thing is, what else do you do when you're camping? You're sitting out there, you're just chatting, you're in the sun. Have a box of Frosties. Why not?
That is true.
I'm sure your son loves them now as well. JJ
yeah. I look a bit like a Frosty. Right, guys, what other questions have you got for me or John? We'll answer anything. Leah says, what saviour is insane?
Yeah, it's a good
I
one.
think we'll both agree with. Nathan has asked, tell us about Tim Cook. I hope that's a joke, but why don't you tell us a bit about what it's like working with musicians that you work with? How's that challenged you?
Okay.
So for those of you that don't know, Nathan is asking about Tim Cook because Tim Cook is a great drummer and has drummed for
Lots of people.
lots of people, and John gets to play with him most Sundays at church. So
Yeah, it's good. It's
Nathan's very jealous.
he. Oh well. To be honest, Nathan, I was bricking it. If I'm honest, because the kind of you paint something up in your head. Yes, there's lots of great musicians there who've done lots of things in the kind of Christian music community, I guess, and they've done some great events. But I think there it's a bit similar to what we were saying earlier, Ben. Like there is such a clear standard and expectation. Everyone is encouraged everyone when they say you can join the worship team, they kind of say you need to make sure you're practicing at home and trying to get better and better. So that's really important. But there's just a strive to get better, and it's kind of covered with an environment of encouragement and affirmation, which is really good because I need that. Like I'm someone who needs to know that I'm
You're
doing.
so needy.
Thanks, but I just need to know like I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
So working with these people is such great fun because it really pushes me, especially after you develop a kind of relationship with them after a few years. It just becomes good fun. But at the start, it was very much okay. I need to kind of get better. I need to push myself. But it's fun.
But
Everyone's
it's made you such a better player. Like we're
yeah.
embarrassed
Why?
about where we were a couple of years ago.
Oh, I see what you
Like
mean.
we were
Yeah.
just saying, like how much we've grown.
I mean,
And you especially, I guess, in musicianship.
my kind of so I've been at HTB for like 2.5 years now. I think been in the worship team for about 2 years, but like even after a year, I I felt like a different person really compared to what I was a year ago, just in my musicianship and my ability, because it's an environment of being out your comfort zone, and I quite like that as well. So it's good that they can kind of breed that environment really, and I'm pushing into kind of MD stuff as well at the moment, which is definitely challenging. So it's just another thing I
Musical
need to
director.
yes, which is great.
Awesome. Well, Trev Frost he said
Yes,
Frosties are great.
they really are.
That was a rubbish impression.
Yeah, we're great.
There's some hottie on the chat called Cat Lasky.
Hi, Kat.
Um,
What do you think of your husband's
saying,
hair?
don't ask that. This is the time where we ask you questions.
Sorry.
What is your most embarrassing worship moment? And we could talk about a few here. And I'm open to you saying anything about me, but I wonder if there's anything. There's one particular that I'm thinking of.
Shall we say each other's?
No, well, there's a couple, but there's one that I'm thinking of with you.
I know which one.
I don't know if you want me to share it, so I should have asked you.
You can share it. You can share it. We have no secrets.
There was
what I
one
will say is before is we're all learning. Go.
no, this is not really. This is terrible.
It's not. It's funny.
Okay, well, you don't know what I'm going to say.
Well, I think I know what you're going to say. I might be wrong though. Just say it, mate.
Well, you say what I think I'm going to say.
Sometimes when you're leading worship, you're trying to grab onto something that you feel is appropriate.
Oh no, I wasn't going to say that, but you go on.
Okay, so I really can't remember much of it, but I was just like singing something, and then were you drumming?
Yeah, so I think it's important to set a bit of context of like, I think we were maybe even co-leading together, but like in our old church, you'd kind of have a lot of space for spontaneous moments, and we'd hold these like really long sets of sung worship, and a lot of it would be spontaneous, but you'd kind of sit in a moment and wait for something to happen, and sometimes you'd try stuff and it would go and it would run, and sometimes it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So go on. Sorry, mate. I just want to give a bit of context.
Yeah, no, that's good. So we were after song, a lot of space, and then I was singing something out about God being close to you or something, or Jesus coming closer to us, and then I ended up singing Jesus is closer in a 3-mile radius or something.
No, you said, this is exactly what you said. You're like, God, you are so big. You're the biggest god within 3 mile radius of this place today. It's like a 3 mile radius. The creator of heaven and earth, but is the biggest god within a 3 mile radius.
Yeah, that was the best
You're so
moment of my
great.
life.
3 mile radius.
That is a worship fail.
So the one I'm thinking of is when we were very, very, very bored. And I think it was at a 24-hour session that we were doing.
Right.
And the way that you could position yourself on stage at our old church meant that you couldn't really, from the drumming position, you could see the back of the bass guitarist, but the congregation couldn't see, because you're facing forwards and the drummer's behind you, you couldn't see the bass guitarist, but only the drummer could. So I was drumming and John was playing bass, and he decided to moon me for the whole worship set. He was standing there with his little pale bum pressed against the drum screen for that entire worship set.
That was banter.
I didn't know if you wanted me to share that. I was a bit worried about it, but
no, it's funny.
Now
we
would never do that now. We were very immature. We'd never do anything.
I was bored, and Ben was bored, so I thought, you know what, we'll liven up this party.
The whole set with his bare bottom pressed against a clear drum screen.
I don't know how you managed to stay in time.
Stitches. I was literally wetting myself.
I don't know how you stayed.
Oh, well, you were there for the infamous Rude Boy.
Yeah,
as well, weren't you?
Daniel Abbott. Yeah, Abbott. Yeah.
That another day. Oh gosh, we've had so many.
One time Ben was doing a new song, and he set the scene. Like, he was playing his guitar lightly. There's nice pads in the background, just a perfect moment. And then he wanted to go into a chorus of 10,000 Reasons. I totally missed the key.
Oh.
Strummed his guitar, went, bless. Ah! We're just going to do that again, okay?
Oh, yeah.
There's plenty of moments, though.
Yeah. There was another one that just came to my head, but it's gone now.
Oh, no. I like it when you put your... I think you did that at the Forge, actually, when you put your Bible down and you hit the trigger for the track.
Oh, man, yeah. Stop the whole track.
Anyway. You stopped it, yeah. Good times.
Oh, dear. Finn's asked another question. Guys, if you've got any more questions, we've got a little bit more time. We'll answer anything. I mean, we've exposed ourselves now.
Yeah.
So, what's the hardest lesson you've learned from being part of music teams?
The hardest lesson? Getting rid of my pride.
Oh, deep. But yeah, that's good. Go on.
Pride is something I'm so scared of, believe it or not.
Letting go of pride.
Yeah, just kind of, it's not about me. It's about Jesus. It's about God. And that is something I still have to think about because, that's just kind of something that's always crept up. Like I find myself especially not so much anymore, but I used to find myself a lot putting it on me. Oh, I'm really enjoying being up on stage, like me. And I've really had to kind of snap out of it, really, because it, like you said before, it's really about the heart and it is about God and not about me. So that I think that is always something that is hard, but because I think it's only natural, isn't it, to feel a bit of that.
How have you done that?
I think what I've experienced has really helped me with it. Seeing how God has impacted my life, seeing how God is impacting the community at church, and how God uses worship to kind of exalt His name and to do miracles. You know, I think when I see stuff like that and I see the impact that we have as a team serving, it really humbles me. And you know, I always pinch myself and kind of think, I can't believe God has put me where I am today. You know, doing something like this.
It's such a journey, isn't it? Like,
it's a privilege. Yeah,
faithfulness is undeniable, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it is.
And where we are now, and where you've ended up, and where I mean, we speak about it often. Is like, even you being in London, like, and me being in Suffolk, like, those two things happened at the same time-ish.
Yeah, they did. So
we ended up moving apart for the first time in our lives, and that could have like broken our friendship really. But our friendship is stronger than ever. Like
Ever, yeah.
It's like scarily strong.
Yeah.
Of
I basically call him every day.
course, twice a day.
When I walk to work.
3 times a day.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Absolutely.
But
it's true. Like there is never a moment when I'm serving that I think about where I have come, where I've been. I always think about my first kind of encounter with kind of music, I think, in a church environment. I don't want to keep talking about church, but it was like one kind of worship night at Kingsland. This was a long time ago. I think you were playing one of the revolutions we did. And we must have been like 13,
one of the youth nights.
13 or 14, something like that we were.
Right.
And our youth pastor at the time would come up to me and just said, like, don't worry about the band. Like, God will give you that and more. And that has always stuck with me. And because I just knew in that time that I would love to do that. I'd love to play. I'd love to be part of that. It's just this kind of thing came over me on my heart. And then when I was thinking that, the youth pastor came up to me and said, don't worry about that. God will give you that and will give you more of that. And God is true to his word. And
yeah. And I think, man, like, we're talking about pride, but one of the things that I think genuinely, like, this friendship has helped just keep that accountability when it comes to not like being too big-headed and stuff like that. I think we might have lost him. I can't see him or hear him. Can you guys? I think he's gone. Anyway, so that was Music Monday. Sorry, technical difficulties. I don't know if you've lost me as well. Could have done. But I've lost John. Don't know if you guys have. But anyway, I'll speak to you next Monday for more fun and games. I'm sorry that got cut short. Unless John's back here. Is he back? Dun, dun, dun.
Don't know what happened there, mate.
Here he is. Why have you got Mr. Bean there?
Because I traced to my phone. Let me just get rid of that.
Right, I've got you now.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, we're back online. I was just wrapping up, but one of the things that I was saying was that it feels like we're saying about our friendship, but that's really played into the pride thing for me, is knowing that I've got someone that I'm accountable to.
Yeah.
And I know that if I got too big for my boots, you would pull me straight back down. And I would with you, whether you wanted it or not as well.
Yeah. I'd always encourage people to find someone that they can be accountable to, because it really works for us, doesn't it? Because we're really close, but you need that. You really need that.
Yeah. Leah's got a good question. What do you think the church is and isn't doing well during the COVID lockdown?
This is interesting. It's a very good question, Leah. I think we've never been through this before. So suddenly our online capability as a church needs to go through the roof. And what we're offering online needs to go through the roof, because we need to be able to bring church into the homes. And it is already, but the things we're kind of putting online. So I think from what I can see, experiencing my own church and the stuff that the Forge is doing, especially as well, I think they're doing really well with the content. So there's plenty of stuff. There's plenty of stuff going on. Daily podcasts, that kind of thing. The church is really striving to kind of bring their online presence up. And I said this to you the other day, actually. I said, I think you've done a phenomenal job with it all, because there's always something going on. There's always something to look forward to. So it's really good. It's difficult. I think in my own church as well, especially like the whole youth culture and the youth, their kind of online stuff has been absolutely phenomenal with how they're kind of bringing the youth into, Zoom calls, that kind of thing. So that's really good. What it isn't doing well, that's a very good question. I think some churches were very, very slow to get going, I think. But I'm not sure if I can call it a bad thing, because no one's been through this thing before. So there's so much to think about staff, about workers, about what it looks like. So there was a lot of decisions that needed to be made, and I think a few things. I'm kind of speaking from my own church perspective here, really, but I think a lot of things were quite slow to get going at times. So maybe there could have been a bit more planning and thought around that. It's almost like they need a kind of disaster planning, if that makes sense. I'm sure that churches have that anyway, but good question, that.
Yeah, brilliant. Ruth's asked, who has been your biggest influence in your faith? That's a really good question.
Wow.
Can't say Jesus.
Oh, God. No.
Biggest name within a 3-mile radius of this place today.
You're at key, mate.
Always.
Do you know what? There's so many people I could say. I think what I have to comment on is from a kind of music perspective for me, because music's such a big thing in my life, and it's what I look forward to. It's what I love to do. And there's a chap from down in Brighton called Mr. Martin Smith, who
Brighton.
Everybody okay?
Everybody okay?
And those of you who went to David's tent, like Finn would know this as well, and Kat and your wife as well. Like when Martin Smith came on David, the other cat, kicking cat.
Oh yeah, Cat Johnson. Yeah.
Martin, me and Ben, we've been following Martin Smith around for a long time.
Oh my goodness, years and years.
He has been someone who has been so in my faith with the music he does and the music he writes and the worship to God, which is what it is. And
some of you know, like the band Delirious is what obviously he kind of is famous for or is known for. And oh man, I keep losing him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, mate. Oh, there you go.
Well, I can't exactly blame internet because you're in London and I'm in Suffolk, so I don't think I can really. That would be crazy. Well, mate, I'm going to cut it off then and just say thank you for being here before we have any more technical issues. You've been a wonderful guest.
Thanks for having me.
Right after this, so I'm not going to say too many goodbyes, but have you got a message for the people of the Forge Community Church?
Love you all. I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon when all of this is over. I'd love to come back and play.
I hope so.
Yeah. Love you lots. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I mean, you're free at the moment. I don't see why you can't just come over. I'm joking.
I'm in the other room. Jokes, I'm not really.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish we was isolating together.
That would be a lot of fun.
That would be so good. Yeah. It'd be helpful for the kids as well. Johnny is JJ's godfather.
Yeah. The Godfather. The uncle.
Basically Taylor's as well. Like, you just are to our kids, Uncle Johnny.
Your kids are so cute. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. But,
there you go.
#blessed. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you next Music Monday. Youth call on Tuesday. Wednesday, unpack lunch with Steve and Johnny. Unpacking Sunday's talk. Will you be there for that, John?
Yeah, I'm there. I'll be
there. Thursday is Thursday's Thoughts with Helen, and Fridays with Fenning, which has become our most popular feature by a way because of our wise leader. Did you see Steve Fenning dressed as Rachel Riley on Sunday, John? Did you watch it on the board?
I haven't, mate. I watched the worship, but then
everyone does. But go back and watch it. He looks like, tries to look like Rachel Riley, but he just ends up looking like Carol Baskin.
Is Steve is Steve Fenning online at the moment? Is he watching?
I don't think so. He's got an elders meeting tonight. So
yeah, right. Well, someone tell him that you should do that every Sunday then.
Absolutely. Go back and watch it. forgechurch.com/online is where you can find all the catch up for this stuff. Forgechurch.com for everything else, and we will see you. Oh, I don't know when I'll see you, John. I'll text you after this.
Yeah, I'll speak to you in a bit, mate.
All right. See you later, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Bye, everyone. Bye.